Well, next time you go there, show.
I'm Etzion from Haifa, Israel. Today is the 15th of February 2025. As usually, we'll start sharing with a musical piece from one of our last concerts. This is a Hebrew song. It's so many things. It is hiding. There it is. This is a song. There is something somewhere. A wonderful musicians, composers in Israel, and doing wonderful work. Okay, what it's going to be, we'll share a little bit more on the book of Genesis. Then I will have I'll share with you some photos which I took of Jerusalem during the years I stayed there. Last week we spoke on Golgotha, the place where Jesus was crucified, supposedly, according to legends. And he will make some tour of showing some what's going on. As usual, also show you last time that I'm doing some work researching the spiritual circles, and we remember the number 144,000 for the book of Revelation, and I made a search in the internet of this 144,000 and a pyramid. Because actually spiritual circles, when they work together, actually form a pyramid at the very apex. It's starting with 12. Above this is the perfect master of the avatar, which is number one, and then he has 12 disciples, and each 12 of the 12, each one has his own circle of 12 people, and this goes on exponentially. But somehow when I kept on multiplying all these figures, it doesn't add up to 144,000. Never mind, I'll keep on searching it. If I discover something by way of research or inspiration, I'll share it with you. So first we'll continue with the book of Genesis. We'll read it a little bit. Book of Genesis, where are you hiding? Okay. The Torah is telling us the stories of Abraham, the patriarch, the father of the Hebrew and the Arabic nations. Of each one were formed 12 tribes. And I said, and the purpose of my sharing the musical pieces, that is music is being based on the 12 initial notes. You have the 12 tribes of Israel, 12 tribes of Ishmael, the Arabs, and they actually, the design was that they were supposed to create together to restore the symphony, the cosmic symphony on Earth, and then would bring back humanity back to its true place in the Garden of Eden, and about 99% of the suffering on Earth would have been eliminated. But all of us, have failed, and it's not working. So the suffering of humanity, or even Baba is saying that there shouldn't be only 1% of the current suffering. But we don't understand we don't get the messages and what's happening. We see all this terrible suffering all over the place, all over humanity, and what we do, we judge. But the very fact that we have shared all this and we failed, we don't see it because the past is concealed from our eyes. And if we would see, would have the vision as if to view what we have done, let's say the past 10,000 years, we wouldn't be able to be able, we would vomit ourselves from our skins. It doesn't matter. I'm not judging anyone. We don't stand it gently and quietly here and there when I see the Babala is a non-stop. You just have to enter to the pages or communicate with them non-stop judgment. This is good, this is bad. I like this president, I don't like this one. This is a good man, this is a bad man. I don't know what is good and bad. We don't know anything about anything. Now, Abraham was 100 years old, his wife 90, and Sarah, his wife, was barren. She didn't have children, so she gave Abraham her maid, and she bore a son, Ishmael, the father of the Arabic nation. 3 emissaries arrived at the tent of Abraham. He implores before them to dine with him later on. They promise him to have a son next year. Abraham and Sarah don't believe it. Abraham is already 100 and Sarah 90 years old. Is anything too hard for the Lord? They say to him. At the set time I will return unto thee when the season cometh around, and Sarah shall have a son. And the Lord said, verily the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and verily their sin is exceeding grievous. After the meeting with the angels who promised him a son, these angels say, also their mission is to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. We know the two cities of 100% evil, and they came to destroy it. I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether to the cry of it, which is come unto me, and if not, I will know. And the men turned from thence and went towards Sodom, but Abraham stood yet before the Lord. And Abraham drew near and said, wilt thou indeed sweep away the righteous with the wicked? Peradventure there are 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou indeed sweep away and not forgive the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, that so the righteous should be as the wicked. That be far from thee. Shall not the judge of all the earth do justly? And the Lord said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will forgive all the place for their sake. And Abraham answered and said, behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord. Who am I but dust and ashes? Peradventure there shall be 5 of the 50 righteous. Wilt thou destroy all the city for lack of 5? I will not destroy it if I find there 40 and 5. And he spoke unto him yet again and said, peradventure there shall be 40 found there. And he said, I will not do it for the 40's sake. And he said, well, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak, peradventure there shall 30 be found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. And he said, behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord. Peradventure there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for the 20's sake. And he said, oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak yet but this once. Peradventure 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for the 10's sake. And the Lord went his way. As soon as he had left off speaking to Abraham, Abraham returned unto his place. As if the Lord walking on the earth, and they got together, and Abraham speak to him like two friends. Mankind is in a situation in which the mechanism that is supposed to manage matters more or less correctly on earth is inactive. It is Abraham's job to establish this mechanism. People live with their gaze fixed on earthly achievements. In the city known here as Sodom, in here we call it Sodom, people have lost all contact with spiritual leadership and have become talking animals, devoid of any morality or conscience. It is a self-destructive situation. Abraham establishes here for the first time the possibility of Adam. Adam appears in the first chapter with the creation of man. Adam is the humanity, managing the spiritual plane on earth in the name of the Yehovah Elohim circle. Also, Adam, as we know, is the first avatar. But for his work to be possible, there must be a minimum number of people willing to take part in this work. If such a basic number is not achieved, then it is impossible to balance the ignorant, savage deeds of people who have become detached from spiritual consciousness and as a result are immersed in path of self-destruction. Since we are dealing with a situation in which human beings are in a very childish consciousness, the story simulates an external force acting by supreme moral power, imposing justice on earth and destroying those who have sunk into evil, without the possibility of extricating themselves from it. The widespread belief that God is one, this is the essence of the Shema prayer. Shema, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Shema is from hearing, in Hebrew, Shema says Shema, to listen. Actually, it's all one. It's in Deuteronomy 6, chapter 6. But we see here and elsewhere in the Torah and the prophets a hierarchical system, a hierarchy. Such a system is in fact one infinite unity, and it will appear to us as such if we are wise enough to act in complete harmony on earth. Mankind has a unique role to play in this system, and as long as we don't play that role, we would feel as if we are cut off spiritual hierarchies. As we see, the Torah is highly concentrated and concise. The text deals with matters critical to the continuation of human existence on earth and in the universe in general. The seemingly debate between Abraham and Yahweh Elohim is of crucial importance. We must constantly face the Creator's announcement that he is sorry for having created us. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. This is being announced before the flood, as we'll see it later on. No, it was before Abraham, sorry. It was before that, we read it in the past. But this sentence, that the Lord is sorry for creating us, we should have make a printout and put it on our desk. And the meaning of it is that all of us are on parole. And we are not fine. This is a warning, meaning what? He's sorry and grieve. He's very sorry for us, that's for sure. Because we go backwards. And the whole creation is suffering due to the refusal of humanity to execute its role in directing the affairs of the creation. This is a very hard statement, which we probably prefer to ignore. In the first chapter, the Creator creates a human being, not human beings. Adam is oneness. And here too, he speaks about the creation of man. The Lord doesn't complain against a certain percentage of humanity, does not discriminate between the righteous and the evildoers. This is a general statement for all mankind. We're actually seeing here a discussion among members of the Yahweh Elohim circle, of which Abraham plays a key role. Even when he lives on earth, although the members of this circle constitute an absolute unity, his individuality is preserved. And here too, despite their supreme spiritual status, they hold discussions among themselves in order to find out what is the best course of action. This is a supremely democratic circle that decides on the opinion of the majority. It might surprise us that the spiritual hierarchy is democratic. All the supreme beings, the gods, they get together and they act according, supposedly, they discuss it like as we discuss it, and they rule out. This is, it's not really what's going on there, and we cannot understand. One day when we'll achieve the goal and we'll merge with this cosmic government, then we'll explain, then we'll have some understanding how it's working. And if you get there, it takes eons to really have a real understanding. Because when we finish the sojourn here and achieve what is being called God realization, it's just the beginning of the real adventure. it's not which would never come to an end, because there is no end to the spiritual states. This, of course, is a superficial comment from the point of view of human intelligence. The beings who participate in this transcendent circle are gifted with states of consciousness that humans have no idea about. It cannot be explained on the sky, we have to be there. We cannot, because we would be blown away. We won't be able to absorb it. We freak out. We would face these beings face to face. We can only receive glimpses here and there. If you really advance, supposedly. When you really advance, you start to have some glimpses of the Godhead. To see it face to face, like here with Abraham and the patriarchs and Jacob, Israel, and Moses. It takes millions of years of spiritual practice. It's not happening in a day. In millions of incarnations. Simple reading of this story, this discussion seems strange. The limited human Abraham is having a difficult argument with the supreme omniscient being, God, in brackets, supposedly. And why should we stand before him and ask questions, in fact? So this discussion, Abraham re-establishes the connection between the hierarchies operating in the cosmos, linking the earthly sphere with the spiritual sphere. This detachment, initiated by humans, has caused us to feel that we are facing some great being, a state of seconds, a state of you or us and them. This is not the true state of monotheism, which is one total unity of the infinite individuals under the leadership of a supreme consciousness. This consciousness is actually the sum total of all beings operating in the universe in complete harmony. Abraham thus enables the cosmic rotation to continue flowing, even minimally, thereby preventing the cosmic engine from shattering. Should be being shattered. I think all this sentence I have to go over all this sentence, double check it against the Hebrew. This can be likened to an electrical generator operating at full power on the one hand, and through a system of cables, it is connected to a system of lighting. The cables are disconnected. The lighting system is disabled. The motor continues to work at full power and constantly compresses energy into the system. This energy must to be released, otherwise the system will explode. It is humanity which is responsible for the proper functioning of the cable system. Which page are we now? I want to show you again the cosmic engine. We looked at it in the past. I made this drawing of the cosmic engine when I wrote this little book, which I call Torah of Mankind. It's on my website, Meherabaisrael.com. You can see that this little booklet, which I wrote in Baba's Samadhi. Did it thanks to money. See how clever all this going on. I told you in the past, you have this money session, you can look at it, that money was presumably prompted by Baba to go against me and to, as if, cause me problems, and this forced me to take responsibility to become an independent writer. And actually, it caused me to keep on writing more books and hundreds of articles. All of them have some spiritual meaning. And when I was writing this book in Hebrew, I decided to translate it into English, and I actually eventually published a little booklet, half Hebrew, half English. I can show it to you again, just a second. Showed it to you in the past. It's a book, this one book is Hebrew and English. This is a Hebrew. This is the English. And it was a very intense tutorial just before working the discourses, which I had to translate the discourses from English to Hebrew. One of my assignments, as I was ordered by Keri Ben Shammai, Baba's first disciple in Israel, that the discourses had to be translated into Hebrew, and she and her husband, another person, started to work on it, and I had to accomplish it, and eventually I did. So this work, I spent on it a year or two, even it's such a small brochure, small booklet, but it was very intense time of studying Hebrew and English, mainly English, etc. And during '84, I drew this diagram based on God Speaks of Baba, but not only doesn't appear there. This is what I understood. This is the movement of the souls from the point of birth, or because the own point, the minerals, plants, animals, and human beings. So the human being is a circle which represents a sphere of consciousness, is fully mature, reached its maximum development, but it's full of darkness. It's full of impressions of sanskaras. And naturally, we need to continue moving this direction to merge back with conscious divinity. This is a path of involution. This is evolution, involution. Evolution is that we learn how to destroy the sanskars which we have accumulated during this sojourn of ignorance, which was necessary. Ignorance is necessary, moving from darkness. There's a mystery of creation. We are not going to get into it, but want to explain that here we humans, our role as humans is to direct the movement of the individuals. This is like an engine. Individuals keep on entering here by force of creation, by the force of mass. We cannot choose entering the creation. All individuals, all beings must enter this process of evolution of consciousness. What's happening? Humanity was supposed to adjust all this, like the gearbox in a car. You drive faster, you drive slower, we are the control mechanism, and we, instead of helping all this system, what it is, that we are going backwards. Instead of going this way, we're going backwards. We're actually under the plants, because it's a symbol that we're under the plants, because we are wearing clothes. And in the story of Garden and Eden, when God is asking, hey folks, what are you doing? So we are hiding behind the trees and the plants. So we're hiding behind the bush. They show the responsibility. And where is our focus? Minerals. as many minerals we have, we are very successful. If we, in our business, we have tons of minerals, mainly gold and silver, we are successful on this. And then that's why they're going backwards. So what's happening is that this engine keep on suffering from shortcuts, and all the disaster, all the wars are due to the fact we're going backwards and going, because all the wars and disasters, they help to the individuals to erase the scars. So we chose it deliberately to go back to our discussion. You have to watch it from time to time. Coming back there. Very well. This cosmic engine can be likened to the electrical generator operating at full power on the one hand, and through a system of cables, it is connected to a system of lighting, or whatever work the engine produces. The cables are disconnected, the lighting system is disabled, the motor continues to work at full power and constantly compresses energy into the system. As we could say in the analogy which I shared with you, this drawing, that individuals or electrons are being pushed into the engine. They must. And we blocked the movement of all this system. So if your motor is working at full speed and you keep on pushing electrons inside the machinery and it's not doing the works, then it will burn. This energy must be released, otherwise the system will explode. It is humanity which is responsible for the proper functioning of the cable system. And all of us are complaining about humanity. They simply don't realize that we are the very cause that this engine is not working properly. And all attempts to fix this engine have failed, and all of us have participated in these attempts, and we didn't succeed. The fact is, the thing is, the whole machinery of humanity and the creation is not working properly. So whosoever is complaining and judging themselves, and they create themselves a setback. It makes the situation only worse when you keep on, like, you can say it, and most of the people who call themselves Bible lovers, because sometimes I enter their Facebook pages. I'm not after anyone. I'm not sitting and monitoring what the people are doing. So you are free to do whatever you want, but it's sad to see again and again, wherever I go, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad. But we want us to stay away from judgment, criticism, getting all this politics, pointing fingers. They ask us only to focus on it. He knows it's practical. He's not talking too much about the restoration of the spiritual circles. He's speaking about the spiritual circles. It's key. But personally, being practical, he knows it's not going to work. And our dear Mandali, all of them are great human beings. I admire all of them, no doubt. I don't claim that I would do a better job. I don't know. You have to be accepted there and pursue all this extremely strenuous training. The fact is, we don't have now an active spiritual cycle after the Mandali passed away. Don't have any spiritual, hardly any spiritual messages coming. Just be leaning on the past, these quotes, and our holidays, the Amatiti, the passing away of our various dear Mandali, etc., etc. But I don't hear hardly anything new. What is the spiritual hierarchy is sleeping. There's no outlet to deliver the messages to humanity. And the two angels came to Sodom at even in the evening. And Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. Lot was the brother of Abraham. The both of them came to Canaan from, let's say, Syria or Iraq at that time. And Lot saw them and rose up to meet them. And he fell down on his face to the earth. And he said, Behold now, my lords, turn aside, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early, and go on your way. So he was Lot, Abraham's brother, was the only righteous person in Sodom, because in Sodom, if the guest would come, then they will rob him and rape him and strip him off, murder him, or whatever it is. It was an evil place, totally evil. And he was only one single person who was righteous, or at least a normal human being. They said, nay, but we will abide in the broad place all night. They didn't want to go to his house, they want to stay in the street. And he felt as the emissaries of the Lord. That's why he was prostrating before them. So then he urged them greatly, and they turned in unto him and entered into his house. And he made them a feast. And he did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both young and old, all the people from every quarter, and they called unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men that came in to thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. No, it's clean word for making sex in Hebrew. See it already in the book of Genesis, it's written that Adam knew his wife Eve. And Lot went out unto them to the door, and shut the door after him, and he said, I pray you, my brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold now, I have two daughters that have not known men. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for as much as they are come under the shadow of my roof. Can you believe it? He is willing to sell his two virgin daughters to the mobsters. So they will rape them and will not rape his guests. And they said, stand back. And they said, this one fellow came in to sojourn. He will needs play the judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them? And they pressed so upon the man, even Lot, and drew near to break the door. But the men put forth their hand and brought Lot into the house to them, the angel of the Lord. With the door they shut, as they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. And the men said unto Lot, the angels, thou here any besides, son-in-law and thy sons and thy daughters, whomsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of the place, for we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is wax great before the Lord, and the Lord hath sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out and spoke unto his son-in-laws, who married his daughters, and said, I'll get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy the city. But it seemed unto his sons-in-law as one that jested. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters that are here, that thou be swept away in the iniquity of the city. But he lingered, and the man laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth, and set him without the city. It came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life. Look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountain, as thou be swept away. And Lot said unto them, Oh, not so, my Lord. Behold now, thy servant hath found grace in thy sight. Thou hast magnified thy mercy, as thou hast shown unto me in saving my life, and I cannot escape to the mountain, as the evil overtake me, and I die. Behold now, this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. This is not a little one, and my soul shall live. And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow the city of which thou hast spoken. Hasten thou escaped thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. For the name of the city was called Zoar. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot came into Zoar. Then the Lord caused to rain upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities, and all the plain, and all the inhabitants of the cities, that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he had stood before the Lord, and he looked out toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the land went up, the smoke of a furnace. You can take a map of Israel or the land of Promised Land, whatever you call it. I guess if you make a search, type the map of Sodom or the Dead Sea. Sodom was at the southern side along the lake of Salt. They discovered an abandoned city, actually on the northern side, in the side of the Jordan, the state of Jordan, into the east, and they found a city which the archaeological search, they discovered the city was devastated instantly by a tremendous, it looks like if an atomic bomb attacked the place, or something the similar force. When people look back, the systems operating in creation seem hostile and competing with each other. It reminds me of the parable about Lot's wife. She turned her gaze back and became a salt commissioner, a mineral. It is a state of the human race in which it finds itself today. Humans are sinking to the lowest levels of creation, the minerals, instead of ascending to the heights of superconsciousness. So this story is a parable. Where is our focus? If our focus on the minerals, then we become minerals. This is what's happening with humanity. They're going backwards instead of going onward. The biblical ruins of Sodom were probably discovered at Tel El Hammam in the northern Dead Sea on the Jordanian side. The city was destroyed suddenly by a major catastrophe during the time of Abraham. Glazed stones were discovered there, which can occur at a temperature of about 4,000 degrees Celsius. At degree Celsius, because you dealing with Fahrenheit. Such stones were discovered after the atomic just in Alamogordo, USA. So Alamogordo, I'll double check it. Abraham's authority was that even as one person, he had the ability to allow the cosmic system to continue working. It is a minimal situation. It is our cosmic duty. We can't continue to shirk our responsibilities if a minimal number of people will decide to restore the system. The human condition on Earth will be changed beyond recognition. Story which sounds like a science fiction plot. That's probably how it seems to most people. But this is the truth. This can't be proven. But the result will be disastrous for humankind. But this might be reversible. What I mean here is that take it for granted. Well, who knows? We are doing okay. This is our situation the past 10,000 years since recorded history. And that's what it is. It's not true. It's not what it is. If you want to find out if what is being told here is true, then Allah will be inevitable and the whole creation will cease to be. And be left to roll in the darkness for billions of years. They will receive a new opportunity of reincarnating. Okay. Stop here. We'll continue this place next week. Okay. Today, so I want to share with you a few photos I took from Jerusalem, make a little tour of Jerusalem. We still have 10-15 minutes, so I can entertain you with some Jerusalem photographs, which I took many years ago. Let's see what I got. We'll start with Golgotha. This we call this in East Jerusalem. Above this, there is a cemetery. And behind this is what they call Gat Shemani, the place where Jesus was buried, according to the legend. If you look at it, it has two big caves or three caves, and it looks like a skull from far away. I'll show a picture which I took of this. This actually is East Jerusalem bus station. And you see these two big caves. When you look afar, it looks like a skull, the two eyes of the skull, two hollow eyes. And these are the buses. I took it 25 25 years ago. Let me see what else I want to show you. I guess I have to get out, to get prepared, do something. See the place. These are the walls of the old city of Jerusalem, actually built 400 years ago by the Ottoman Empire, what we call today Turkey. These are not the walls from the time of King David. Want to make you a tour of Jerusalem. You know what? I'll do it. We're running out of time. We'll do it next time. So thank you very much.